But here we go. My friend, take us away.
Yes, I will indeed do that. We've got PandaTank versus seeM, Protoss versus Zerg, and if you're just joining us, these are the finals of PolarfluKe Char Grilled. Yes, it's been a long day. And if you're wondering about the sponsors, we've been sponsored by Megarom this month, Digital Addiction, and Lagbeast and XYZ. But I think the players want to know, the people watching the stream want to know who spawned where. So let them know. Siege, take us away here.
PandaTank, a green Protoss player, he did spawn at the 9 o'clock position, and right down here at that 6 o'clock, our blue teal coloured Zerg player is seeM. He's already sent out that first Overlord, and I really say this every time, but I want to see the scout looking for the Overlord.
Yeah,
Please let us see it.
It really is something good to see. I love it when players do that too. We've seen a pretty early scout from PandaTank though, so perhaps he won't even need to do that. I think it would probably be a waste at this point. I gotta say that this color looks good on Zerg. It really does.
The light blue, yeah, it does. Have you ever played a huge player gap map, like a 4v4 map? You can actually choose like a grey-black colour for Zerg.
That colour is amazing. Yes, I have.
They look like actual bugs. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's great. I really wish Blizzard would put that in the normal games as well. But PandaTank actually trying to sort of disrupt seeM's mining a little bit here. Didn't really work out very well. We've got gas going down and a spawning pool for seeM. Pretty weird placement there, but still, it's going down, and we've got this this nice overlord here from seeM just hovering over PandaTank's gateway.
PandaTank's having slight lag issues at the moment, and starting few seconds of the game doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but we really hope this clears up before too long, so it's the last thing later on.
Yeah, the players are discussing it here, but you've got to keep in mind that StarCraft works in a way that if one player is lagging, everyone in the game will feel it. There's actually not very much you can do about that. So if PandaTank is lagging, then seeM is going to feel it too, and that's just the way of things. It does sort of make it fair. It's not going to be pleasant, but it's going to be fair.
Yeah, and a little bit of a break in festivities here. I fully support this. Both players need to be ready to go. They need to be operating at full, absolute 100% capacity, because the difference between coming first and second is 520 rounds. That's the difference, a huge between amount. What they're playing for.
So I like the fact that seeM is hanging around with his Overlord here. You've got to take a bit of a chance with the Overlord, keep it above your opponent's base as long as you possibly can, and then scoot it off to the side so you can just pop in and check what's going on at his natural at a later time. And obviously you want to get an Overlord out above where your natural will be as soon as possible, so you can see any movement there as well, and you can see if it's safe to expand. But we've got the speed coming out for seeM. As I always say, he's the kind of player that really likes to get that speed early. He wants that map control that it gives you, and he obviously just likes the feeling of those incredibly quick Zerglings.
Yeah, it's kind of necessary. Well, not necessary, that's the wrong word to use, but advisable to get that early Zerg speed in this matchup anyway. It'll actually dart forward and back, take out these probes. I mean, that helps a huge amount. And notice that PandaTank just went down there, saw the expansion of seeM, and just left. He's gone away. seeM, though, is already looking all over the bottom quarter of the map to make sure there's no proxy shenanigans going on there.
Yeah, these are the finals. These players are going to be as careful as they possibly can be. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any more Zerglings from seeM anytime soon. He's probably just want to drone up as hard as he possibly can for this first little while of the game at least, and keep his Zerglings out and about on the map, just keeping a good eye on what's going on. He can see that sentry there. He knows that there's probably going to be a 3-gate expand.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see what he does.
He's already read what's supposed to do.
Yeah.
He saw the 2 gas going down near the start, and that sort of timing on gas, if there's not going to be some weird, just obnoxious form of tech, then it's going to be a 3-gate expand.
Yeah.
I mean, we've not seen, obviously, any Starport or anything like that going on. And by now, you know about it. There's an Overlord just going in there to see exactly what is going on. And he will spot that the 2nd and 3rd gateway, no problem.
Yes, it's well worth sending that Overlord in there just to have a peek. And down in seeM's base, he's got his 2nd queen already at the natural, at his hatchery. Already got that lava inject going. He's got some drones there. Wow, it just looks like he's got so many drones out. Yes, he does in fact have 29 out now.
Yeah, most importantly, the one thing I'm so happy about looking at seeM base is that first creep tumor. He put that down there to allow himself to get that creep pyro from one base to the next. So many Zerg players get their queens and immediately start injecting lava and doing nothing else with it. So it's really good to see that creep is already being spread at this early stage of the game.
It's well worth sacrificing one lava inject for that. Especially if you get your queen a little bit earlier, then you won't even be sacrificing that. And the distance between these two bases isn't that much. If you can cover it all with creep, it's going to be all the better for you to run across. So think like a Zerg.
Absolutely. You get amazing vision, great control of what's going on. Now we force going down at the front of PandaTank.
Ooh, okay.
There, but never mind, that's clear, or has it?
I don't think so. No, now we've got seeM actually lagging a little bit. As you can see, it's not just one person, so it's probably some sort of ISP problem, but you know, we can just ignore that for now. While they're busy sorting these issues out, we can have a look at the insane amount of and that lag, by the way, is just Fluke alt tab in, an insane amount of sentries. Wow. That's so with all those sentries there, and just looking at my production tab, we've got Lairtech about to finish. I really wouldn't be surprised if we see Roach Burrow and Roach Burrowed movement coming out soon as well, and that would just be a perfect counter. It would work so well.
Yeah, absolutely. If we see Roaches with the Burrow and Burrowed movement, then they can really get in and out of where these sentries are. Yeah, still trying to sort out this lag issue, but 7 sentries, the whole benefit of what sentries can do is that force field. Now, we should have the force produce a cannon or two at the front here at this natural expansion. Once those cannons come out, that's going to really help what's going on, because there we go, there's one cannon there, put far enough back from the front that it can't be sniped, and a second, it's a pylon to form a very odd wall.
Yeah, it's a very tight wall though. Look, I don't like it very much myself because this pylon on the right-hand side is pretty exposed. But at the same time, you know, a wall's a wall. That's probably going to stop most, if not all, of the Zergling run by harass. But what I find really impressive, and by the way, there comes that Burrow and Galil reconstitution. But what I find really impressive is the fact that seeM is still sitting on only 4 Zerglings at the moment. He's only now getting his first Roaches out, so he really pushed it to the absolute limit, getting as many drones as he could out.
Well, he's at 42 harvesters to 36. I mean, PandaTank has done a fantastic job keeping up that worker count. Now, though, seeM has his 3rd hatchery up and running. There's a queen spawning in from there. So you really expect his income to take off to a fantastic new height very, very soon. There's a hallucinated Phoenix out, but that is a normal, real robotics facility that's gone down just out the back of the mineral line of natural. Yeah,
seeM's going to know that hallucination soon enough, and there's an Overseer actually floating around in PandaTank's base too, getting a good look around. Not that he's going to spot that much, he will spot the robo facility though, and he does even select it to show that he spotted it there to us. Yeah, that's going to be good. That's critical information that he really does need. But here come the Roaches.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Roaches on the way. We've now got that Roach Burrowed movement, the tunneling claws upgrade is on the way. So we have very, very fast Roaches, we have a lot of creep, and they've got that Burrow and that Burrow movement, which means getting in and around this force from PandaTank is going to be really simplicity in itself. There's a load of Lings on the way as well, and Lings do very good against the Stalkers. They can surround them, hold them in place. The Roaches can then take out the very easy to take out Sentry and Zealot force, and seeM is going to have a very commanding lead if that's the way it plays out.
Yeah, and those Zerglings also help because they can squeeze through those force fields and just sort of saturate the enemy lines, if that makes sense. But it looks like PandaTank, he wants to be aggressive, but he's not quite sure if this is a good time to push out. I think he's just waiting for a proxy pylon to go down. Yes, he is, but it will be spotted by seeM if he goes too far.
It will, absolutely. It's right there next to that Zeno watchtower, which is a great place to have it. Now we have Immortals on the way, and something I really, really like is +1 armor coming out from PandaTank. Now, it's a great idea because Zealots take so much damage. They tank a huge amount of damage. However, he's only got 1 Zealot out, so it's not going to work quite as well. It's sort of like he's doing one thing that he knows is a good idea. It's just not quite executed the way it should be.
And one thing we have to point out now, the guys on the stream might not see this, but it's actually 132 population to only 106 at the moment. seeM is in the lead. A little bit of that is drones, but he does in fact have a nice force of roaches and speedlings too. And here we go. It looks like he's going to go for the engagement. A nice pincer here.
He's gotten absolutely surrounded, getting up there onto the high ground as well, and there's no escape whatsoever from PandaTank. He's basically being bent over right here in the middle of the map, and that's not a comfortable position to be in.
That was absolutely disgusting. What a beautiful surround from seeM. The pincer tactic was pulled off absolutely flawlessly, and seeM is able to push PandaTank back with minimal losses. We've got 62 population now versus 119. Immediately seeM burrows those roaches to get all that health back that he just lost.
I would hate to be this pro, but cue the Jaws music. There are a load of roaches bearing down under the a bang it goes, and that pilot being taken out as well. So seeM really did a fantastic job defending that. If we look at the income tab now for both players, 58 hearts.
Oh, this is going to be annoying.
64 to 50 now. So seeM has a great economy lead as well as a fantastic population and army lead, and is getting all of the structures and upgrades in the world right now.
Yeah, seeM just had a little Zergling burrowed there to stop this expansion from going down, but he does in fact know it's going down now. And here come those roaches again, taking out an Immortal, a free kill for seeM.
Yeah, and an Immortal is not something you want to donate to your opponent either. seeM doing great with these roaches, just penning those Stalkers in at the side there, doing huge damage to them. They can still burrow, and there's not enough Stalkers out at the moment to negate the additional health brought in by that burrow. So there's still a very, very solid...
Wow! We've got Ventral Sacs and Pneumatized Carapace coming in, and 20 roaches in production along with Aspire. This is absolutely crazy. seeM is just exploding at the moment, and these roaches are not scared of anything right now. Just moving in here, dealing a lot of damage.
They're doing huge amounts of damage. We've got the Pathogen Glands upgrade, which is, of course, the Infester additional energy. We've got the Spire coming out as well, so seeM has got access to many, many tech paths at the moment. But if he goes Infester, I will love it to pieces because it decimates Stalkers now with fungal growth.
Most definitely, and he does burrow those few roaches that had a bit of damage on them while the other 20 come to join them. A lot of Zerglings streaming in here too. seeM is looking in such a good position right now. It looks like this game is about to be over.
It pretty much does. We have a 170 food Zerg army against a 70 food Protoss army, and there's the GG from PandaTank bowing out there.